Make sure you fast forward just a little bit on the replay so that you can actually see when we actually start. I'm trying to get my co-host on with us. Not able to see your video, Aki. Let me see. Hold on. I just sent you for a quick second. Y'all give us 1 minute. We got some good things in store for y'all tonight. Let me connect my headphones. Bluetooth. All right, there you go. Yep. I can hear you just fine. Perfect. Show in stream. There we go.
Right.
You know this technology be trying
Yes, sir.
to throw us curveball. We just got to keep going and rolling with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How you feeling?
I feel spectacular. Thank you for asking. Yeah, excuse the ball cap, bad headache, but besides that, brother, we good.
Hey man, you see me? I ain't even got my regular head wrap on. I got a whole little. Come on
Yes,
now.
sir.
It's all good. We got to get this information out tonight. We couldn't stop. You know, we got that live obligation every Wednesday at
Absolutely.
8:30 p.m. And I actually made a mistake. So they ain't really for a treat. I was just going fast and I'm tired. And this was supposed to be live streaming from the LOJ Fit Club fan page on Facebook, but it's actually streaming from my personal page on Facebook.
Oh, we're
So it's all good. They in
yeah,
for a treat. I wasn't gonna
absolutely.
change it. It was too late to change it anyway.
Yes, sir.
And so what we're doing, what we're talking about today is why in today's time and today's climate is, you don't have really an option to
Hmm.
be on a plant-based, whole foods, vegan diet. You don't even have an option if you want to live.
Yeah,
If you want to choose another alternative route, another reality,
yeah,
you know, uh, maybe don't tune into what we're talking about. But if you want to live, you're going to have to make some permanent changes to your diet.
yeah.
Period. And my personality when it comes to this, I've always been more so of a person who just kind of lets you know, like, take your time. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, transition. Don't try to, go cold turkey, none of that stuff. But in today's climate, we don't have that luxury. We are here to blow a trumpet. We are here to let each and every one of you understand and know that it is very imperative for you and your family to make some very permanent changes, some permanent changes in your diet and in your lifestyle if you want to live, if you want to survive. And so that's what tonight's topic is about. If you're live with us already, you're tuning in. I see people logging on now. What I need for you to do is go ahead and just share this. Even if you don't stick around, we want you to stick around. We would love for you to stick around. We got some great information,
Hmm.
but I want everybody on this live right now to go ahead and just share it to their page, because what happens is we want the people who need to hear this message, that we can save some lives as it relates to what we're talking about tonight. So what I need for everybody to do is go to and share. Y'all hear me? I'm going to it. I'm being obedient. I'm sharing it right now. All
Yes,
right,
sir.
let's share it. I'm gonna share this. Uh-oh. Let's share it to my pages, my groups. Let's go ahead and share this post. Let's go ahead and share this post. We're about to start in a minute. We want everybody to share this post so that we can get started. All right, I just shared it in one group. Let me share it. Perfect. All right. And then one more time. Copy link. If you just now joined us, we want you to go ahead and share this live so that we can go ahead Hey, Miss Lavonda, what's up? What's up, D? If we can share this post so that we can get some people tuned in with us who need to hear this message. It was a mistake from going live on my personal page, but we here now. So
Let's
we're gonna
get
go
it.
ahead and make the best of it. That's right.
Absolutely.
So in the meantime, in between time, I'm gonna introduce myself and then co-host and COO, LOJ Fit Club, Master Operator. We're gonna let Yosef introduce himself, and we ready to rock. So, all right, perfect. I'm done sharing the post. Perfect. Anybody who doesn't know, my name is Tori Wiley. I'm checking in with LOJ Fit Club. I'm CEO and founder of LOJ Fit Club, where we take our communities from sick and disease to healthy and full of peace. We do so by using the 3M method. We say that if our people as a collective could just do these three things on a daily basis, incorporate your culture and your lifestyle with meditation to get more mindful, with movement to help the lymphatic system and help to create new neurons and circuits within your brain so that you can operate and feel better. And then last but not least, what we call mangoes, which is a representation of plant-based nutrition. If 80% of your diet, if you went to Chick-fil-A once a month, but at least 80% of your diet was from plant-based whole foods, and you ate nuts, seeds, grains, legumes, and then you had herbs within your diet. If you just did those three things, then our communities would stop being sick. We would stop being at the top of those charts. And so that's what LOJ Fit Club is. And we're gonna do everything in our power to get you to be able to understand how important that is. And so that's who I am. I'm gonna let Yosef introduce himself, and then we'll get right into it for tonight's call. We're gonna keep y'all for a very short time tonight. We both have had long days. We worked hard today, and so we got to rest and do it all over again. But Yosef, you got it.
Absolutely, brother. First and foremost, it's a privilege. It's a pleasure to be with you, having this profound and powerful conversation. And also want to extend peace and blessings to the listening audience. And you opened up first. Hey, I'm the newest member of the LOJ Fit Club team. You know what I mean? And we doing this thing for real. I'm with my big brother, Uri, and we come in to disseminate information. And most importantly, we live what we teach and what we preach. And you opened up, brother, by saying that if you're not a vegan in this day and time, you really don't have no time that you could do anything else. Your life is on the line. And that may seem harsh. It may seem very brash, but it's true. We, especially if you live in the Western world, and I want our people to really understand this. The Western diet is one is imposed on us, composed of all chemical based food. We don't even have food anymore, and I would even say, I'm going to give away to you, but just preface with this, to our vegans out there who have really lived off processed food, still chasing that meat taste and texture, you have to shape up as well. My brother kept saying and emphasizing whole foods, meaning that you have those whole foods like vegetables and fruits and legumes and beans and earth, not just processed vegan food, but those foods that grow from the soil, that grow from the earth. You are the melanin rich people. You need to be tapped in with the soil and with the earth. You need to be outside. Just like plants survive off of a process called photosynthesis, where it takes the sun rays and produces its own energy and is able to extract from the soil the necessary nutrients and vitamins that it needs to protect itself and to grow and to prosper. We do too. And we have to really understand that. And a lot of our people are anti being out in the sun because they say it's too hot. They don't like being sweaty. Our people don't like drinking water because it's too plain. They'll drink anything and everything but water. We don't want to eat no green foods. We don't want to eat no fresh fruits. We don't want to do anything. We like fruit if it's a margarita or something like that. You know what I mean? Or some strawberries or banana on top of our sundaes. But we got to get away from that because 85% of our problem is connected to our poor eating habits, our diet. And they call it a diet for a reason, because the way we eat, we die almost instantly. So, brother, this is a powerful and profound conversation that needs to be had. And with everything that's going on in the world, we're going to talk about that briefly tonight. we have to emphasize the point of changing your lifestyle. And changing your lifestyle means changing what you eat mentally, as he says, as far as meditation, ideologically, as far as what type of cultural practices that you live and operate in each and every day, but also the food, the physical substance that you put inside of your body. Because what you eat will either protect you or it will kill you. And we're going to explain that tonight.
Point blank period. There's no other way around it. So today what I want to do is keep it very simple. We're going to preface this with an article that we're going to just kind of read the headlines, make some small commentary towards the article. And it's our article we created. D, what's up, brother? An article we created. And within that article that we created, what we're going to do is we'll have some commentary, brief commentary if needed during the headline of each one. And then we'll, at the end, say our last little commentary, and then any kind of Q&A that we have, that anybody that's on tonight, we'll have the Q&A, close it out. We'll be back next Wednesday. It will actually be on the LOJ Fit Club page. If you want to get notified, let me put it here, Holistic Health Talk.info. If you want to get notified each and every Wednesday that we go live, then simply go to holistichealthtalk.info and fill out your information right there, and you'll get notified. You'll be on that list to get notified each and every Wednesday that we have these particular calls. We are streaming actually live on Facebook and on YouTube at the same time.
Beautiful.
So tonight we're going to read through an article that we created. Remember, the topic tonight is that you don't have the luxury of not being plant-based, not being whole foods, not being close to it, as close to a vegan as possible. And the reason why you don't is because of the simple fact that with this biological weapon, aka a virus, floating through, people. My landlord just for our business, our landlord just called me yesterday, and the main construction worker of his, who like the maintenance worker of his buildings, is right now, fighting for his life on a ventilator, with this virus, on fighting for his life. So they having like a vigil and stuff like that on Friday for him tomorrow. And it's just it's sad. A lot of people are like this. We have to change our ways.
Mm-hmm.
So without further ado, I'm gonna share my screen. Share. All right, share and stream. Let's do it like this. All right, we're gonna do this. Boom. Let's go solo on. All right, perfect. All right, so you can see my screen. Okay, you can see my screen?
No, I can't see it. I see you.
Okay, you see me still.
Mm-hmm.
All right, no worries. I think they can. They definitely can. If you're still on, can you see my screen? Are you able to see my screen while I'm broadcasting? Just make sure to confirm. Are you able to see my screen? If so, please put in the comments. Just put yes in the comments if you're able to see my screen. If you're able to see my screen, put in the comments so that I can go forward. We're gonna move forward, brother. I think we good.
Okay.
All right. So with that, what we're going, let me just check one more time. All right, yes, D said yes, so we good. All right. This is an article that either between me and my brother created. You can see the creator of the article right here, Shamari. That's one of my older brothers. And I know he actually put it together, but I'm not sure if I wrote the content or not for it. But I know he put in a lot of content in it as well. And so the name of this article is How to Become Vegan, Expectations versus Reality. So basically, we're going to skim through this because it's an actual detailed article. If you want this article, let us know. I'll send it to you. So basically, in the beginning, it starts out how to become vegan is a question. And the answer is easy. Don't consume animal products. But I'm confident you are here because you want to know how to become a healthy vegan. Now that, my friend, requires more effort. But don't worry. That's what the guide is for. So share with everyone who is vegan curious or switching to a vegan diet. So that's just kind of how it starts out. So, let's make it clear. There are unhealthy vegans who are content with eating French fries and potato chips stuffed in their faces with Oreos. I will begin with the obvious benefits of becoming a health conscious vegan. Populations that have a majority plant based diet tend to have a higher quality of life. That's just a fact. They also have lower rates of common degenerative diseases. For a long time, the Okinawans ate large amounts of vegetables and had the longest lifespans in the world. Seven-day Adventists in California live an average of 10 more years than most Americans. Here's a picture of many African countries. Heart disease is nearly non-existent. Researchers believe it's due to low meat intake and high amount of plant foods in their diet. So basically, let's talk about this. So here's a video with some vegan FAQs from one of our past health coaches by the name of Stephanie Sunshine. She talks about, if you're vegan curious, where do you get your protein from? She answers those questions. You get it from beans, vegetables, grains, everything has protein in it. The second thing she answered was, will I get skinny? You will balance your weight. So if you're overweight, if you're overweight, you will lose weight. If you're underweight, you can gain weight depending on make sure that you're getting the caloric intake that you need to balance whatever your weight needs to be. And then another one is do I need supplements? And then there's another one that I can't see. We're going to move on, but she asks, she talks about what supplements you might need. So we're talking about then the next headline is psychological versus environmental. He says become wise. You got to become wise. The only way you become wise is through study. All right. Next thing is remove junk food from your house and work environment. Remove the junk food. If you even if you don't turn all the way plant-based, at least remove the junk food. The junk food is anything processed that if you can't pronounce it, you probably shouldn't be eating it, except quinoa.
Yes, sir.
You feel me on that? You'll say.
Yeah. I know a lot of people that still call it quinoa.
Quinoa, right? Yeah, fact. So next thing is resist temptation during gatherings. Hey, upcoming, you got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas, you got all these things upcoming that your family will tempt you to change, and be like, what you tall, Lord? You one of them now, you eating rabbit food, you don't want none of this real. You got to resist all of that. Okay. Another one is allow your taste buds and time to adjust. That's gonna, taste is an acquired thing. When you listen, when you listen to a song for the first time, do you always like that song the first time you listen to it?
Hardly ever.
Hardly ever.
Hardly ever.
Yep. And the reason why is because taste is an acquired thing. And so when he hears that song, that first time, it's like, oh, I don't turn this. But because the radio keeps bumping it, because wifey keeps bumping it, because kids want to hear it, now you've been hearing it for quite some time. Now the mind is trained to find what it likes about it. And so taste is an acquired thing. You agree with that, Yosef?
I agree 100%.
Perfect.
Yeah, so your palate is developed. Simple and plain. You can acquire a taste for anything and everything.
Period. Facts. Next thing is that full feeling may not be achieved in the beginning. You may feel, ooh, that's a good one. My brother wrote this. Whew, he wrote this, boy. So that's a huge one. And I would have probably never thought to put it in here. Yes, in the beginning, you will feel that feeling of that fullness and that itis that you used to feeling so much when you eat, unhealthy foods. So be patient with that because it's going to take a little bit of time for your body to adjust to not having that feeling because it's not a good thing. It's how diabetes and all that stuff comes because you are, the body is so marked down to trying to digest all that processed stuff that, you will have some trouble. What vegan food, what vegan food should I eat? And so answer that question is food high in fiber is a must. The lack of fiber slows down your bowel movements and interferes with the micro balance in the gut. In general, eating whole fruits, vegetables is an easy way to adhere to this rule. But let's be a little bit more specific, so we go into a little bit more specific about, things like that. Flax seeds, grinding the flax seeds. stuff like that. You got anything to say about that, Yosef?
You hit it right on the head. That's one thing that we really, really have to take into account, and that's the
Mm-hmm.
necessary intake of dietary fiber. You have soluble and insoluble fiber, what your body can break down and process, and what your body can't. So that soluble fiber is a must because it cleanses your intestines as it starts to activate a more frequent bowel movement. So I know you're very big, and we're very big on detoxing. That's a way that your body removes naturally the toxins by consuming that fiber that helps. Like I said, it's like a brush getting the inside of your intestines and your cleaning out your bowels, because a lot of our people only use the bathroom once a week,
Yes.
once every 3 days.
Yes.
And I would say it's, unless you're eating one meal a day, eating using the restroom once a day is a bad thing.
Yes.
You
Yes. You
you
got to use
want
the
to
bathroom
naturally have a movement after every meal.
every meal. Facts. Facts. That right there. Oh, can't express how important that is.
That's important because the excrement, that removing of the waste, is what keeps your body disease free. It's there for a reason. It's your natural filtration system. It's your natural sewer system. If you don't separate the wastewater from the clean drinking water, everybody's sick and everybody dies. The same thing with your body. It starts to fill your body up with so many toxins that it starts to kill off the healthy cells, and it feeds
Yes.
on itself. And then that's how you see disease and decay of the body, the breaking down and the malfunctioning of the organs.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Next thing, antioxidants will keep you young and healthy. Our environment wreaks havoc on us and damages our cells. And antioxidants are the bodyguards and are abundant in many vegan whole foods. Berries and most fruits have high amounts. Eat salads, packed with spinach, tomatoes, cucumbers, and bell peppers for a big boost. Also, drink green tea whenever possible. Matcha tea is better because it contains whole grounded tea leaves, which means more nutritional value. Next thing, all fat is not created equal. So you have stay away from fat. While helpful, this statement is partially true because fat is necessary for our body's work to work properly. In fact, some nutrients can't be digested without fat, such as beta carotene, vitamin A, found in sweet potatoes and carrots. So add vegan sources of healthy fats to your diet. Avocados, walnuts, pecans, Brazil nuts, pistachios, cashews, and almonds all contain healthy fat. Okay, we want to continue to go. Don't overlook greens and cruciferous vegetables.
Brother, real
Yep.
quick on that fat piece.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Uh,
hey, jump in anytime you want to
no,
jump
I'm
in.
sorry, but that's so critical again, because see,
Yep.
this is why we're saying that the vegan diet is so essential in this day and time. And I know people, what I'm about to say, it's like, well, you can get it from other animal sources, but not necessarily. So when brother said healthy fats, those fatty acids, those omega-3s, those are foods that's found more higher in fat, what we consider fat, but there's not fat in the sense that it's going to make you fat. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
necessary vitamins and nutrients that help with your brain health. You see what I'm saying? That's what we keep missing too. You got to feed your brain as well, not just through reading, but the proper nutrition helps brain and cognitive function. So when you
Exercise.
see
Facts.
people suffering from dementia or Alzheimer's or those type of cognitive diseases, it's because they are very lacking in those healthy fats, those omega
Facts.
threes, those, and we can go on and on. So people say, well, salmon and fish. The thing about that is that, unfortunately, even if there was a case, there's a whole bunch of other things we can get into. But to make it short, the waters are poisoned. you know, Marvin Gaye was singing about the mercury in the water in the 70s. You think things have
Mm.
gotten better? So again, with that high mercury content and those harsh metals inside of those fish that we eating, that is also contributing to cognitive dysfunction. So again, the plant-based diet is the most optimal way, especially in this day and time, if you're talking about not just physical health, but mental and cognitive health. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry, but that was just a key
No,
point.
100%. 100%. Don't overlook greens and cruciferous vegetables. For instance, chlorophyll, has a blood detox properties and is abundant in magnesium. Magnesium is important for stress management, bowel movements, and sleep regulation. Cruciferous vegetables are a group of vegetables that belong to the family of plants: broccoli, kale, cabbage, cauliflower, and those are a few examples.
And high in
So,
protein.
yes, correct. And
Broccoli,
absorbable protein.
spinach. Those are high
Yep.
in protein
And absorbable. Your
and
body can actually
absorbable
absorb
protein.
it.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. Onions and garlic have a little known side, a little known side benefit. So better, besides their germ fighting ability, onions and garlic make nutrients and other foods more available to our bodies. Add them to dishes regularly. But I don't have to worry. But I don't have to worry about that because you love them, right? Question mark. I mean, who doesn't love garlic and onions? um,
I love it.
right. Herbs and spices are a nice way to add flavor and nutrition. He said, he told you that, I told you about the powerful mustard seed powder already, but there's more. So here are a few more examples. We just kind of go into some of the ones that you want to add. Cinnamon, helps regulate your blood sugar. Cayenne pepper works wonders on the cardiovascular, improves in blood circulation. Turmeric, master inflammatory. Um, small amounts of herbs and spices are usually enough to be effective. So stock up and use them often. Got anything to that?
You hit it right on the head. Spices and herbs are one of the most overlooked things, especially in new vegans. Those are your powerhouses because those are your supplements. If you want to talk about,
Mhm.
you don't have to go to
Mhm.
GNC and try to get vitamin C and those things, and those are still authentic substances that are created because you can't really isolate the vitamin like that. That's when you get into the chemical aspect of it, the
Mhm.
chemical component. Your body doesn't truly absorb it. So when you have things like turmeric, and which is ideal with black peppercorns that help for absorption, you want to get those natural herbs and spices that help the body absorb it in a more beneficial and advantageous way. And that comes with your herbs and your spices. It's a reason why, like you said, the East had those things and they live for such long times because they understand the sciences of the spices and the herbs, and they also help the food taste good.
100%. It's a no brainer to use.
Yeah.
Next one is, what vegan food should I avoid? Take your allergies into consideration. Some people are allergic to certain things, depending upon certain trauma that the body has had. So meaning that you could have, when you were little, were doing something at the same time you was eating, it could have went down wrong, and because that traumatic experience, your body could start recognize that
Mm-hmm.
as something of poison. That's how powerful the body is. Um, Fried foods will fry your cells. Frying food, we understand, we like it, it's good, it tastes good, but if that's what you eat, primarily eating, and you
Mm-hmm.
eat that a lot, it's gonna fry your cells. Don't become obsessed with one food. Keep a variety of
Yeah.
foods. There's 80,000 different fruits and vegetables on this earth. You don't even know 1% of them. So
Yeah.
don't tell me that being vegan is limited. No,
Yeah.
eating the same four dead ass animals is what's limited.
Yeah.
Um, Processed food is the biggest temptation because processed food is just good. Let's just be honest.
And it's everywhere. It's
And it's
readily
everywhere.
abundant. Excuse me.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
readily
There you
abundant.
go.
So
There
you
you
get them
go.
in the grocery stores when you think you're cooking for yourself. They at all the fast food joints that we see continuously every corner, two or three McDonald's on one corner. It's ridiculous. And then when you go into restaurants that's supposed to be more quality food, when you go back into their kitchen, they using processed foods to cut costs and to save on expenses. So again, stay away from them processed foods. And then they pack with sodium and the worst type of sodium. So now you're holding on water. Uh, you're not allowing your blood vessels to open and allow a constant, even flow. You are naturally dehydrating yourself. I mean, there's so many negative components. That's why eating processed food that you're not even aware of the little things. You know what I mean? And when I get into the MSG and all those things they use as preservatives and additives to these processed foods. So just be very cognitive of what you put in. Brother mentioned earlier, if you cannot pronounce it, you probably shouldn't eat it, except for quinoa.
Facts.
Yes, sir.
100% facts. 100% facts. So with that being said, the next one is
Uh,
processed food. Oh, we got that cheat days. and cheat meals are okay. Hey, the body is what you consistently do. If you eat good for 80% of the month, and for 20% of the month, you have a little, on the weekends, you might have one day out of the week. That means you're doing good 6 days, and that one day, it's not going to have a big effect on you like that. So, don't get so caught up on getting obsessed to a point where you're imbalanced. You need you in balance. um, what supplements should you take as a vegan? They're gonna always tell you vitamin B12, vitamin D, vitamin D3, iodine, omega 3. You can get that from flax. You can get that from walnuts. And then nutritional deficiencies. Certain things that you may be deficient in. And in conclusion, with this particular article, then we'll open up for us to be able to just dialogue for a second. Is becoming an unhealthy vegan is much easier than being a healthy one. First, you must make the right mental and environmental changes. Next, include a variety of whole foods and exclude others. But have fun with it. Don't be too restrictive. Otherwise, it will be hard to maintain. And finally, use supplements when necessary. And so, that is an article again. If you're just now tuning in, that my brother created, for LOJ Fit Club, and my brother Shamari. You can see here at the top, and he created this article. Beautiful written article, beautifully written. It looks amazing. I mean, sheesh, I'm tripping. I need to be having him create an article every day. Golly, this boy can write. So that's what we want to share with y'all. If you're live with us still, I want to hear. Let's bring you back up. You're safe. If you're live with us still, I want to hear what are your thoughts on what you just heard tonight. And again, remember the point of this live is to let you know that the option of of just eating what you want to and not being plant based, and the majority of foods are coming from plant based whole food sources. That day is gone. If you want to survive, we have some emerging biological weapons and warfares and some viruses that are here. And people are absolutely, falling to the
Yes. Yes.
wayside.
Yes.
So our job is not to try to scare you. Our job is try to educate you on how to detoxify your body, how to take the right minerals, how to be able to absorb the right nutrients and eat the right foods. And so in that understanding, that's what our mission, that's what our goal, that's what we're here to do. What did you get from learning some of those on that article? And if you want that article, shoot us a message. We'll send you the link to that article so you can check it out and study it and share it with your family and friends as well. You'll say if you got anything that you want to say before we open up a little last minute for question and answers.
No, brother, you was one big shout out to our big brother for the article. Beautiful article. Definitely need to go through that again because it's a lot of key points and high points in there. And again, I know it sounds like the language that we're using is extremely harsh and it almost seems impractical. But trust me, it's the most needed thing that we can do for ourselves. As brother articulated, we have a medical, a biological, and chemical assault on us on top of all the physical things that's going on. So how do we protect ourselves? How do we defend ourselves? It's going back to the very substance and source of life, which is the plants of the earth, which is the fruit of the earth, the herbs of the earth. That is our greatest line of defense in this day and time. And if we can do that, we can see, drastic changes. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you get shot in the head, eating shaking a shot of wheatgrass is gonna bring you back to life. We're not being spooky, but I'm saying a lot of our ailments are directly as a result of our dietary habits and our trust in a medical system that has been created to profit off of sickness. That's the thing we have to understand. I'm not trying to push you away or pull you away from any of what you think is correct. But I have to say, when you do your due diligence and you do your research and you understand the current medical system in the Western world profits off of sickness. So there is no real business model because it is a business. Hospitals and medical fields and pharmaceutical companies, it's a business. So there is no profitability in cures, only keeping the people alive to keep them or keep them sick enough where they don't die, but they're able to continue to be customers. It's the dope game, just legally. So that's why we're saying the diet, exercise, meditation, being in a proper environment with positive energy, positive people, that is our ultimate solution and our best solution.
My bad, I had to unmute myself. That's the only solution we have. And so, with that being said, we want to open it up. Anybody who's been on the call who want to be able to, just ask a few questions before we close it down. You have the ability to do so now. Any questions dealing with plant-based nutrition, any questions dealing with holistic health in general, anything you want to ask that is, along the subject of health, nutrition, and fitness, then you actually you absolutely have the ability to ask that now before we close in our closing moments. So anything that you want to do right now in our closing moments, you have the ability to do so now. Any comments? What came to your mind? And seeing the article. What were some of the things that resonated with you? What were some of the things that you knew or you didn't know? If you're just now joining us, what are some things along with a vegan diet or anything like that you may want answered? We're gonna give you 2 minutes. If anybody has anything, we're gonna let you post it now. And if not, we're gonna log off and we're gonna be back
Well,
live here
I
on
got
Tuesday.
a quick question for you, brother. Can
Oh
you
yeah,
tell
for
me
sure.
a difference that you notice being outside of the country versus being in America as it relates to the diet, the health of the people, and the quality of food?
Woo! That's a loaded question. It's a huge difference. When I was just in the States, just about a month and a week back, when I was just in the States, every day, I don't even know, man, just in Atlanta, every day was muggy. You barely got a clear day. It was very muggy. It was very just, it was very, it wasn't even, it was the middle of the summer. It was supposed to be hot. It wasn't even that hot. Um, barely got some sun. And so everything about that was just already weird. And then also now, some of the things that I like is the fact that you got an abundance of restaurants with different kind of varieties of restaurants that you can just Uber Eats, right? The convenience. But what it's doing to the health is just not good. And here's the issue with it is, yes, it may be convenient, but it's conveniently deteriorating you at the same time. And the processed foods, uh-oh, his phone went out. He'll be back on. The processed foods. He asked a question of, what difference that I noticed. Being outside of the country, so I'm outside of the country right now. Being outside of the country, you notice, a huge difference in the first of all, the sun. Every single day, the sun is just beaming. I'm in the Caribbean, the sun is beaming. So I go out there and sun soak for 20 minutes every single day. Okay, do my meditation out in the sun as long as ain't no mosquitoes biting me. Um, gotta put my natural repellent on. I'm like, shit, ain't about to get me though, like this. But the sun, and then the food wise, you know, nothing, almost nothing processed. And I'm gonna tell you something. The biggest killer of people around the world, you'll say, is the mind. Because now we going into restaurants and they got fresh pressed watermelon juice, fresh pressed lime juice, fresh pressed cucumber juice, and all we ordering, we just happy just to have this juice so readily available and everywhere.
Mhm.
And the native people, a lot of times, they drinking cokes and they trying to get their hands on the sodas.
Mhm.
The mind is a terrible, terrible thing to waste. And
Teach.
so we come from the world where all this stuff was created and we
Mhm.
run into the natural things, the markets, it's all types of different vegetables that you never even heard of before, you know, chayote, and you understand what I'm saying? Different types of limes. They got like a lime that's like a mixed between. It's like it looks inside of it is orange, and it actually tastes more like a lemon,
Mm.
but it's a lime. It's a different kind of species. You know, papayas every day. Papayas growing right in the backyard. So, you know, this type of access to this type of food, man, like how I feel, I don't even feel. I feel like my health is the best it's ever been.
Mm.
It's the best it's ever been because just the environment alone. So that's a great question. So I challenge everybody to, you know, do what you have to do within the environment that you're in. But it's the minute you get a chance to be able to experience another environment where that sun hits and that processed food is less and they have more natural foods, get in
Yeah.
that environment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, I definitely had to ask that question because I know it's very important. And that's what we're doing, brother. Your Facebook, your YouTube audience, we're building that community because to have that reality perpetually, not just on vacation, not just as a getaway, but to have it be a permanent way of life is going to take all of us. And that's the only way we're going to actually see some real success and some real power and some real freedom as we work together and we work in unison. So, I'm glad that you could experience that and be that witness bearer for us, brother, to show us there is hope outside of the beast. You know what I mean? And that we can have something to strive for. And
100%.
the listening audience, don't be too proud or too, shy to ask a question because there's no dumb question. There's no wrong question if you don't ask. You never know. And that could be an information that not just helps you, but help the hundreds of thousands of people that may watch it now or in the future. So, definitely let's take time to ask these questions because brother's very knowledgeable.
Yes, sir. And anybody watching the replay, you can also ask questions on the replay and we will get into the comments and respond to you. And Shows, I think we're gonna close it down, and we'll be back next week, 8:30 EST, Holistic Health Talk. We'll bring another holistic health message for that particular week. Let's dialogue, let's build, and let's grow from here. Thank you, brother. You're safe.
Man, thank you. Thank you. I can't wait to see you next. Well, I'm going to see you tomorrow, but I can't wait to be back in front of the audience next week. And we keep this thing going. We make it bigger and bigger. Like, subscribe, share. Please share this information. We got to get it out, man. We just a couple young brothers that's been blessed to be born in this and be developing this. And we want to share everything that we have with our people because we don't want to see all the death and despair that is happening globally continue to happen, especially our people. We won't have nobody, but if we can help the people that we can touch, we got to. That's our obligation. That's our responsibility. And we're going to try to do the best we can with what we have. So help us. And it starts just by listening, sharing, like, and subscribe. You know what I mean? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So without further ado, the links are there. The link to the article, if you want to read the article that we read from tonight, I put the link to the article. I also put the link to if you want to get notified each and every week as we do the holistic health talk, and we will see you on next. We will see you on next week's live. We appreciate it. It's going to be on the LOJ Fit Club page, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, Lila. Good night.